true?
No, do you know? Okay, so I said that one time.
Yeah.
All that remains is for you to decide what you want from this war.
Welcome to New Zealand. How are you
Thank you.
finding it? Have you had a chance to explore it all?
I've had a little bit. I just had a sort of quick sort of driving tour of Auckland, bits of it anyway, and I saw some lovely places. I saw some. I think the guy told me this was like this particular road was like the most expensive houses in Auckland. Were in this particular.
Oh, it's all like that. Don't
Is it?
worry.
All of it.
And tell me, what if Corlys was to arrive here? Where do you think he would be drawn to first? What would be the first things that he'd do in New Zealand, you think?
The bay.
Obviously.
That's pretty much it. I think he's like, as long as I'm on water, I'm fine. I understand that.
I'm right in thinking, I heard somewhere that when you're talking about being out in the water, that you might suffer from a bit of seasickness yourself. Is that true?
No, do you know? Okay, so I said that one time.
Yeah.
And it was true, because the few occasions before that, I had been on a boat where everyone was like, oh God, this is horrible. But ever since I said it, I've been on the water and nothing. It's the weirdest thing. So I don't know if you can grow out of it. It's weird.
Possibly, or you can cure it by saying it out loud, naming it perhaps.
There you are, you see.
Or perhaps you just caught it that time from the other people you're around. That can happen.
That's
quite
what it,
often.
yeah, I caught seasickness, I caught travel sickness from everything else. But no, it's fine. And also because when we were shooting, I was worried because when we were shooting episode 1, we were on these boats that they built, but they were on gimbal, so they kept doing that. But no, not a trace of it. So I am cured.
Congratulations.
Thank you
Because
very
they are such magnificent sets and costumes. I'm really interested in what your relationship is like with the wig. Well, what is it?
No, me and the wig are great. I mean, if I could, I'd take the wig home. But no, it's fine, because people often ask me, is it heavy? But no, it's not. It's very light. I can't say that I never know it's there, because that's not true. But no, it's fun. In fact, it's one of those interesting things. When we were shooting the battle scene for season 1, there's this battle of the Stepstones. I kept saying, I don't want to wear the helmet. So I didn't wear the helmet, and I lost that argument. So when I knew there was going to be another battle, I began the argument way ahead. And so eventually the stuntman figured a way that I could lose it, because I was like, you've got this magnificent wig. We should show it. Come on, you spent the money. Let's use it. And so yeah, so it was better. The wig I liked, the helmet I didn't.
Now, I have this theory that because fantasy has become so massive in recent times, and I think that people often, the crazier the world gets, the more we lean into absolute fantasy. It's this way of escaping. Do you think there's anything to that?
I think there must be. I think there must be, because I think if you look at the popularity of fantasy and sci-fi, there has to be something that you look out the window and look at the world and go, ugh, but here. But then at the same time, I think what makes these things so interesting, these stories, is that there is a parallel with the world that we live in. We have to have something that we can identify with, you know. So although you're living in the world of dragons, you still want to make sure that your house is secure. You still want to make sure that your family is safe. So I think you still have to draw elements from the real world. But yeah, oh my God, can you imagine if you could just get on a dragon, just go fly someplace else?
If only, if only.
The joy.
But you're right, though. Whatever happens, we come back to the same sort of central themes that are happening in life. Like, I mean, House of Dragon's so much about power structures and the battle to be the one on the throne, and even this uncomfortableness that we have around, apparently, women being in power. Which I guess there are mirrors to real life. And how does it feel playing out those dynamics, those power structures?
I think it's interesting. It's great, because that's a very interesting point you make there. That I forget what it was, but I was watching something in the news, and they said something about a woman, and they were like, "It's the first time this thing has happened," and you're like, "It's 2026, and we're still having firsts with women, or with ethnic minorities, or whatever it is." It's weird. So it is interesting, because I always say that when you make a show, or in fact any piece of art, I guess, wherever you set it, or whenever you set it, it still reflects the time that you make it. So we make this show 2026, and we set it in, well, the fantasy world, but it still reflects the values that we have today. There are things that happen in our parent show, Game of Thrones, that we wouldn't do in our show, because we are now, for example, we are now post, I forgot what the word, post Me Too. So there are certain things, you know, I don't know, I don't think that they had, for example, the need for, or not the need, but the intimacy coordinators, I don't think when they were shooting, at least the beginning. We now have that, because those things are important. Because once upon a time it would be just like, oh, just get on with it. Well, now it's, hopefully we care a bit more. So yeah, it is nice to be in a show that, to some extent, does reflect the world back on us, should we wish to have that.
Tell me, if Corlys were to have an Instagram account today,
Oh, God.
what do you think he would have as his little bio? What would we expect from him on his account?
Oh, wow. I think he'd probably, if he would have an Instagram, which I'm not sure he would, frankly, I think it'd say, I get things done. And that would be it.
Beautiful. There's so much of him seems to be, well, part of his identity is being a father.
Yes.
How do you think he performs as a father? Where do you think he is strong, and where is he perhaps? Do you cast a bit of judgment on what he does?
Wow. I think I think he does okay. He could be better. I mean, I think about a scene in season 1 when he's trying to get his son married off, and his wife says, look, I forget what her lines are, but basically she says, look, you know he's gay. And rather than be like a father like today, he'd be like, yeah, you're right, actually, why am I forcing him into this? He just goes, he's young, he'll grow out of it. And you're like, come on, Dad. So that, and also then trying to basically get his like 10-year-old daughter to marry some 50-year-old bloke. Those are two sort of black marks against him. But generally, if he can put aside the pedophilia and the homophobia, I think he does okay.